have Andrew Chorney, Brian West, Bryce Christensen, Cheryl Hartman, Christina Dewar, Alicia Beckholtz, Aaron Schrader, Jenny Daniels, Martin Kitston, MCAT, Melissa Fisher, and Shane Stack. In 206, we have Commissioner Strohmeyer, Vero, and Slotnick. Kurt Paulson with the Missoula Rural Fire, and Ray Powers, Ann Hughes, Maddie Scott, Annie Cathy, Emmy Bristow, Allison France.
Excellent. Thanks, Annie. Is there any public comment on items not on the agenda today? Seeing none, we'll roll into the consent agenda. We have 6 items. Anything anyone would like to pull off to discuss? Or a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion or public comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Kirk, it is all yours. We have before us a request to authorize me to sign a statement for the Cooperative Fire Protection Capacity Grant through DNRC.
That's right. So with our work through accreditation and the uncertainty of this year's fire season, however that may go, there is a fire capacity grant that the DNRC is offering. And so we have done some, through our accreditation process, have done some figuring of our effective response force. And that also including the response force of our members, our mutual aid members that we help. And so what we're looking to do is staff an extra engine during red flag days, red flag warnings, watches, or any high fire potential. And so we're going to staff an engine with 2 people and then bring on an extra command staff to help assist with, if fire does start. They're going to get big quick, and we just want to have everything in place. And so,
Is this a competitive grant, or is it more like if you qualify, you get
it? From my understanding, it's not very competitive. So I've done the work to put in. I sent you guys just the copy of the grant itself, but we've done some back work looking at projected forecasts for this summer. We've done some stuff with snowfall averages over the last years. One of the biggest public comments to us that we're hearing is the worry coming from them because of the lack of snow this year.
Yeah.
And we're never going to know for sure what's going to happen, but we want to be proactive instead of reactive. If things do get bad for us.
Historically, if we have bad snowfall like this, what happens?
If you look at some of these charts here, 2016, 2017 were fairly busy fire seasons.
17 was a real season.
Yeah.
Like the most expensive and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at the averages, December of 16 was 124% of snowpack, and that goes on a 10-year average, right?
Okay.
If you look at where we currently are in December of 23, we're only at 37% snowpack. And so, obviously those kind of numbers do concern us because so much of our taxpayers and our district is in the urban interface. And so, if we can identify the amount of people that we need on scene as quick as possible, we can hopefully make a good stop on anything that happens. And so with our effective response force, with our accreditation process, we've identified how many attack lines for, small fires that are just starting, and how many engines, how many water tenders we need, and a total of 8 people with no structures threatened. When we start looking at urban interface where there's homes that are threatened, we initially, out of our jurisdiction alone, want a total of 13 people there. And that's command staff, that's pump operators, 6 attack lines, 2 water tenders and a structure protection supervisor, which, you know, we're kind of limited on that aspect of things. We usually pull a, you know, extra command staff captain off of an engine and put them in charge of that, where we can now hopefully designate this overtime personnel to fill that role.
So this grant will cover overtime, not necessarily.
Yep,
carrying.
yep, exactly. And the other thing too is, you know, we have a big, you know, we feel obligated to, you know, around this whole area, Florence, Frenchtown, Missoula Fire, Clinton, East Missoula, Potomac, you know, those ultimately affect us, and it affects Missoula County, right? So because we have mutual aid in place with all those agencies, if they need help, we're going to send them help automatically.
Sure.
And what we can do now, we can just take Clinton, for example. If Clinton Fire has a wildland start out in their jurisdiction, we're going to send our Bonner station out there. What we can do, and that's all that's in our mutual aid agreement, if they start requesting more, then we'll obviously send more. But if we staff another engine with another command staff, we can keep our battalion chief in town for our constituents. And then send that overtime command staff and then that extra engine with 2 people to Clinton. And now they have 5 people total, which and we've identified, you know, through responses. We know around our stations where, you know, how long it takes to get to all of the outlying agencies. And so our Station 1, believe it or not, that's at Southern Reserve, is the best location to station that. And so we've done traffic pattern studies, you know, just response times in general throughout the years have identified that that engine is going to be second due no matter where it is. So.
Any other questions?
Martin, have any questions?
I do not, thank you.
Okay. Ready for a motion?
All right, I would move that the board approve the chair to sign the authorizing statement.
Second.
Any further discussion or public comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Alder.
Thanks so much, Kirk.
And I will sign this as we speak, the old fashioned way. Shane, go ahead, talk to us about closing out Mullen Build.
Yeah.
Wow.
Introduced it well, Dave. This is just the final amendment to the grant agreement with the Federal Highway Administration to close out the Mullen project. So just need a signature. We'll get that back to FHWA. They'll do signatures and send us a final copy.
So all the work has been completed out there that needs to be completed.
Yep, we completed it last summer and just are finishing up the paperwork to close out the project.
All for the 14 million.
Well, it was
What is
$13 million grant, but it was closer to 21 million total project cost.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some, I noticed a mistake in what the city's been disseminating. It was 13, not $14 million grant that we.
Martin raised his hand.
Martin.
Hey, yeah, this one, congratulations on closing this out. I know it provides a lot of opportunity. Can you summarize in your own words just what this grant actually did for the county and the city and helping lay the groundwork for redevelopment of that vast area?
Martin, are you asking me?
Yeah, anybody, just what did it do? I mean, it did a lot, obviously, but in your own words.
Yeah. What I would say, Martin, as we were constructing the 3 main roads, England, Mary Jane, and George Elmer, what I would tell you as we were building that roadway and the water and wastewater infrastructure and stormwater infrastructure, the vertical construction was happening at the same time. So we were already seeing the benefits of having the infrastructure there to accommodate future growth and housing. And as I drive through there on a regular basis, I still see a lot of dirt being moved. If you go out to the south end of Mary Jane, there's a pretty large subdivision there that's under development. So there's continued growth out there, Martin. So yeah, what I would say is, certainly what we're experiencing is the benefits that we had estimated are happening right now.
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
So impressive.
It's so impressive. I want to say that Shane delivered this super complex project at, I think it's a land speed record for something so big in such a short amount of time.
And to actually see development right now.
And, and not just any time, during a COVID mess when everything from supply chain to workers to all else was constricted and bottlenecked. And we got this done as we told the federal government we would. Hence, we get the money. We took a bit of a risk doing this, promising we'd get this done on time. And thanks to Shane and Jeremy and a whole bunch of other people, we got it done on time.
Yeah, Josh,
Would you like to see this? Would you like to see this replicated out in the Y? Now that you have some history and experience under your belt?
Absolutely. Maybe
Well,
under,
what's invested
maybe with a little less pressure, but yes, Martin, absolutely.
and
Martin, you can come to the state of Missoula here in about an hour, and we will hit on this yet again. So,
Great, thank you.
Josh, I just wanted to add too, I mean, I think it's important to recognize, you know, the entire team from the city and the county and DJNA and Hewitt and NDT. I don't think we would have been able to get it done as fast as we did had we not had the team that we did have. So super fortunate to have a collaborative effort.
That's what it takes.
we didn't vote on this yet, have we?
No.
You have.
I move to approve that the chair sign the Mullen Build or Switupcane closeout agreement.
Second.
Further discussion or comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unless there's anything else that we need to deal with, we're done.
Wow.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.